We improve people's lives through improving space. We're sure that space forms person as such. One of the main basic principles on which our work is based is guided by the practice of evidence-based decision-making. In other words, we draw our conclusions and make our final decisions based on certain data and on a certain evidence base. And besides this, we still propagate the idea of iteration. We understand the need, and then we develop a solution, test it, and decide whether it truly works or not the way it is supposed to work. Clear, useful, and available public space. It's the slogan of the project of Agents of Change, which is being implemented in Ukraine. This project was created by those people who are seeking to improve the lives of every urban resident.
Наше бачення перш за все таке, що простір
We consider space not only a space. Everything must be a human-friendly, performing certain functions, and help resolve the issues of a particular person in any given location, no matter whether it is the interface of an automatic machine for recharging a metro card, or some function on the street, or in a backyard. A human being must be a priority, and all their needs must be met. We try to promote this kind of approach in all of our projects.
Такий підхід намагаємося у всіх проєктах своїх пропагувати, можна так сказати.
The team of agents of change includes specialists in various spheres ranging from architecture to graphic design. I engage specifically in the research of public space. This includes what happens in the city and what functions different buildings perform. These are office buildings, shopping malls, or some types of cultural institutions. I conduct research of objects of the social infrastructure for public use, for example, park benches, tables, water fountains, monuments, and something of the kind. And in fact, we have collected a whole bunch of data because we started from approximately 5 stages of research, and today there are nearly 14 stages. Agents of change bring the public space into order and thoroughly study the content and locale. Then they develop new rules and regulations and test their effectiveness on real objects. In fact, this process is ongoing, because we start each project with a certain question, which we want to find the answers to. And accordingly, these questions require a certain amount of time and effort for research, which then allows us to form the full picture and draw conclusions that will lay the foundation on the basis of which we can comfortably say, oh, we should do it this way. And then we do it exactly that way. All citizens use public space, pedestrians, drivers, residents of apartment buildings, and each of them can without any doubt change their space. For example, they can do this by putting up a sign, building a summer terrace, installing glass windows on a balcony. To avoid chaotic innovations, the team of agents develops rules according to which the use of urban space can be controlled. It's a very interesting question, because the fact is that in Ukraine, people face many difficulties in obtaining data, and it is even more difficult to know what to do with such data. Agents of Change began their activity in 2012 with the founding of a non-government organization by volunteer designers. It was aimed at shaping the urban environment and communication. The project is based on inclusiveness, decent treatment towards human beings, and the openness of public space. And in the end, only 5 of the most insane remained and established our organization. We sought financial support for our project on crowdfunding platforms, and for about a year we worked very hard to achieve our main objectives, though it was a very difficult path. Today, experts of change have found their niche. They're involved in searching and introducing new ideas to fruition. Among them are underground maps, address lists, navigation and branding of the Kyiv cable car and the Odessa Slopes workshop. Our latest and major project is Podil Circle. This is a concept of public space development in Kyiv's Podil district. And before developing this concept, we conducted a large study of Old Podil, New Podil, and the industrial zone. Some sources call it Flat Podil and others New Podil. And before getting down to work, our architects conducted research in this district, where they used the data they had collected in order to prepare the draft of this innovative concept. Being neither a researcher nor a designer, I am involved in communications and development of agents of change. On a February morning in 2017, I stood at a Podil intersection and counted the number of pedestrians. I wrote these numbers on a scrap of paper. Our team was spread along the intersections of streets in the Podil district to calculate the time and direction of movement of pedestrian flows. Experts consider the reconstruction of the City Hall public space to be one of the most important, because this state institution should provide citizens with effective and comfortable interaction with the authorities. It's a touch point, and it is an understandable and effective interface that has an impact on the image of the city authorities and the eyes of local residents and tourists. We understand that the authorities are not able to provide such high-level interface. Therefore, we want to improve it using our knowledge and skills. We follow a number of principles in our work. We're honest, open, clear and transparent, and we don't tolerate hack work either from our staff or from the surrounding. The project included experts and public activists, key events, and City Hall officials. Besides that, the best European experience in the reconstruction of Helsinki, Finland, Viborg, Denmark, Vienna, Austria, and Riga, Latvia was applied. We turn to GIS research. GIS is a reliable geographical information system in which data is collected directly through the cloud onto a tablet, and accordingly they're automated and immediately have geospecificity. That is, these data is related to something in space. And now one of my tasks is to put our manual research to a kind of conveyor or manufacture to provide the general public with more reliable and faster data. Any changes in urban space can be productive, fair, and sustainable only if three parties, the city administration, business, and residents, interact, according to experts. This process is called participatory, or increasing the efficiency of management decisions. It not only takes the interests and needs of stakeholders into account, but also gives them an opportunity to hear each other, to develop an effective strategy for action. What is important is that there are city and district officials who are truly interested in improving their city, in introducing changes to the benefit of city residents and so on. They often lack time for this because they quite often have to deal with many different problems, and in my opinion, this is not due to inaction. And many will agree with me. This is either due to their lack of awareness of the problems or the lack of financial resources to cover the costs of resolving such issues. Now, innovators are involved in several large projects. One of them is the development of public space in a residential complex of Odessa. Conducting research and developing a concept for such development will allow for providing for the needs and comfortable conditions for people living in neighboring residential buildings. We're engaged in navigation and communication with various companies. We also conduct research. For example, we've recently completed a large study of the center of Odessa and proposed to develop a new concept of its development. Following decommunization, one Kyiv company ordered the production of street signs from our organization. The law approved by the Ukrainian parliament stipulated that the names of many streets in Kyiv would be changed. The project was quite intense and ambitious because there are different apartment buildings located separately, together in neighborhoods, in residential complexes, and on wide or narrow streets. Our personal requirement was to make the street sign look cool. Their image should have a catchy look. We wanted our signs to look voluminous and glare on the photo. We faced many difficulties, including with the manufacturer. We contacted a Ukrainian manufacturer of metal plates with glass enamel, as it is accepted in Europe.
Пошук. У нас взагалі в Україні є завод, який виготовляє металеві таблички зі склоємаллю, такі як прийнято в Європі вішати. І саме вони.
There are two plate manufacturers in Europe. One factory works in the Netherlands and the other one in Kharkiv. In closing, the creation of modern, cozy public space is a very realistic project. It all depends on the interest of citizens, businesses, and the city authorities, how much they want to live in a comfortable, safe environment, and what everyone has tried to do in order to make their native city or district special and the best.